5 months ago, Chris Rudnick hit me up and said, hey, I bought a BMW E30. It's turbo, it's a piece of shit. Can you help me fix it? And I said yes. That, unfortunately, was a big mistake.
She said I don't spend time like I'm
making myself a butter knife for lunch.
This is Chris Rudnick's piece of crap E30 that we're gonna fix up and make wonderful. Over the car, there's been a ton of problems. It's not like they built this car and said, hey Jordan, we built a sick car. No, they're like, hey, we're calling it quits, Jordan. Can you please fix it for us? And now it's like really horrible.
No boost leakage.
This guy put the wrong spark plugs in his car. You should never reuse spark plugs though. But I'm gonna for sure repurpose these for one of my cars. Joe barely assembled the car with really good instruction.
That's Joe built.
What is that? Don't look too much. It's Joe
Why
built
is it on
and
the
Joe broke.
Right now, you wanna see my leg? You wanna see my leg? Yeah. More like a baby arm.
What are you doing, Joe? What's wrong? Is it good? You still have pressure up there in the front? Otherwise it's gonna keep pushing the piston out.
Otherwise it's just gonna keep pushing it out. Right now I'm gonna do power steering lines.
That was great.
Awfully close to my face there, but
What's going on?
the E36 rack is too small. So you have to put a spacer on the bolt. Should work now.
Say fuck that shit. I want a new.
This needs a new throttle cable. Little doohickey is broken. Changing the power steering reservoir right now. Then after that, we'll work on putting the charge pipes together, putting oil in the car, putting oil filter. We're still waiting on an OEM bracket for the radiator. Wow.
Status report.
I'm just gonna put a little fluid in there. Comes time to bleed the power steering. It's gonna be a little easier, so I don't have to. I don't think these are gonna hold, so I'm changing them to T-clamps, these hose clamps. I feel like there's gonna be enough boost to blow these off. This car is very dirty. I'm checking each brake line. Half the lines were loose, so I just wanna make sure everything's tight before I start bleeding shit. Yeah. Stop.
What?
I already dirtied my face.
No, you're good.
Alright,
Maybe a little.
really? I'm gonna take off the downpipe and make it fit. It touches the top hat, touches the frame rail down there, which you won't be able to see because it's underneath the car. I'm gonna mark it right now before I take it off, so I can mark it in places where I need to smack it with a hammer. God! Ooh, she's stuck now. Ah! Whoever made this downpipe, I'm sorry. You did beautiful work. Tiny bit more, John. I will rewrap this for you. I just need it out of my way because it is getting in my eyes. In other places I can't really say on camera. Did you shoot yourself? We made some indents here, small ones, but you won't see it because it'll be wrapped. Won't cause a knot. I'm comfortable with that. Why are you all up in my shit? I'm doing the fuel pump right now. I gotta take out the old one so that the car can handle some power. This thing smells like the small engine section at Sears. So, here's new fuel pump. This, in theory, should just, I gotta do a little bit of soldering, clean her up, pop her back in, and move on to the next. You like that? Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Okay, how's it going? Sending this to Jordan right now? So I don't know if I did it right. We're gonna find out from Jordan in about 15 seconds. Psych! This motherfucker never answers. Nah, we're gonna put the fuel pump in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what.
Yo, Day, are you okay being on camera? How's it going? Can I record you? Blurring his face is probably a lot of work. Just keep the chrome lights out. Ricermiata's fire from building cars. We decided sort of on the wastegate, on the oil return line, we're gonna reuse part of what we had, and this line's gonna be cut down. We're gonna cut this much off of it pretty much, and then it's gonna be tucked away from touching things. We made this wastegate relocation tube. We as in the Day, I did nothing. We made a wastegate relocation tube to dump the wastegate down here, because always wastegate went straight back, the oil line had to go through it. Everything was touching everywhere, it's not that safe. He's gonna blast wastegate tube away from the motor, so we won't have any problems with that. Pretty much a charge pipe, wastegate tube, and oil return line were all a problem. You have to fix 1, 2, or 3 things to make it perfect. The charge pipe we're leaving, we're fixing the oil return line and the wastegate location and dump tube. That way that combo is gonna work. I was super undecided. Do we change it all? Do we change one? Do we change the other? This is our happy medium. So I look angry-ish. Do you think it's gonna start? Is there anything else to check? Oh, you're supposed to be recording my face. Don't worry about the coolant. We'll handle the coolant later. Fuel pumps pumping, wipers wiping, no crane, decrane. Shit hits a fan, someone gotta turn the car off. Good, like too good. Fresh engine, we'll give her a little flip. It's not my motor. Stop, don't do that. So here's an oil pan leaks. It's like a guy that was blind in all 3 of his eyes, tried welding it. We're gonna JB weld on top of the weld. And I just put fresh oil in it. So what are we gonna do? We put a vacuum to his oil cap. I'm gonna be so confident I won't even put an oil pan underneath the car. Sort of try to rethread his oil pan while this vacuum just sucking. Once again, this pan, we're getting rid of this. And if it does, I'm gonna run like a motherfucker. I really don't know if this is gonna work. Yo, it's gonna work. He's holding the bolt in. Yo, that's crazy. You hear that shit? That's the problem. Look at the surface right there. It's never gonna seal. The finish line is in sight. The reality is though is that this car still has problems. I've now had the valve cover off, rechecked the timing twice, and the cam timing is still reading wildly off. I put 2 new cam sensors in it. Everything is perfect, and the cam timing still doesn't like work right and throws a cam timing code. He bought some sort of modified OEM harness. I'm assuming they did something wrong when they modified it or they started the bad harness. I'm still gonna tune it like this. It's fully tunable. Everything worked except the vanos won't trigger, so the car's gonna be a little bit lazy on the dyno. I'm pretty fucking over it. It's hot as a in this car right now. Luckily, I already dynoed this car 3 or 4 times so far trying to fix the junk wrong with it. This car has no gauges, no wideband, no boost gauge, nothing. So I have to rig up this wideband, which is not a big deal. 370 wheel, 14 pounds of boost. I'm gonna put some more gas and I think we're like almost out of gas. I already did this like 50 times. I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and do this for a fucking 5 hours. After a few pulls, car ended up making 450 6-wheel horsepower. The car could probably make 470, 480 as it sits, based on the way this guy's gonna drive it, aka like a fucking savage. I think leaving it a hair under the maximum we can be at is probably good for longevity. Right now, power falls off after like 5,500 RPMs, 6,000 to redline loses 50 horsepower. It won't do that. It'll make more power up top. Also, if it gets this shitty fucking engine harness out of the car, it'll actually spool probably 1,000 RPMs earlier, at least 800 RPMs earlier. So I'm happy to say my job here is done. It's gonna finally get out of my face. I guess that's it.
I get that in my yoga pants, fucking that bitch in a yoga stand.